Hello viewers and welcome to Africa and Beyond Television Network. And this afternoon we are looking at something which is very, very important. It seems as if Emerson Mnangagwa's 2030 agenda is falling apart. There is nothing called 2030 which is going to happen, and there is consensus. All veterans have chipped in to give Mnangagwa a warning. Let us take a look onto this video.
2030 havaisviki vakatoita zvekutamba kana 2026 chete havaitiki. Why ndiri kutaura kudaro? Kuza Mnangagwa havazi Mwari. Tese tinoti isusu zuva ratamuka ndinopfugama ndoti Ishe ndinokutendai nezuva ranhasi ramanditendera kuti ndione. Inini muri kuona kuti simba iri inini muri kumira pamberi pevanhu muchitaura kuti hanzi 2030 2030 kuita sei? 2030 yamuri kutaura yaMnangagwa pakuita sei? Muri Mwari here imi munotaura? Kana inini izvozvo ndiri kutaura izvi ndinozviziva kuti mangwana angu akamira sei? 2026 chaiyo muri kuvashuridzira imini, vanogona kutadza kutoisvika fu. Asi izveni dai tasvika 2027 ndinokupikirai pano, ndinoenda kuchikurubi ndichiti uyai munditore, ndini ndakazviturika ndega. 2030 yamuri kutaura aMnangagwa hapindi. This country is boiling. This country will never accept kuti aMnangagwa hapinde 2030. Take my word.
So let it be known that there is nothing called 2030. So my sister Esther, thank you very much for coming this afternoon. And we need to have a consensus as a nation, as a people, to say there is no 2030 to talk about. You know, we can't let these older dollars dictate our future. They can't do a Kabila on us. Kana ari kuronga kuti Emerson Junior achasara ari president murukutamba. We need to be robust. We need to be honest with this. This is not a matter of jokes or laughter. We are serious about this. This is the reason why we are determined to speak against the ZANU-PF on a daily basis. And one day, enough is going to, we are going to say enough is enough. One day, we are going to call a spade. And a certain man in this family, we have to run away from Zimbabwe. This 2030 agenda, which they are bringing without resolving the illegality which is already in the country, is wrong. Emerson Mnangagwa must understand that there were no elections in 2023. We must understand that the way he got into power illegally. It was a coup. He was not supposed to be a beneficiary of whatever arrangement within ZANU-PF after the resignation of Robert Mugabe. So this is a man who has survived several coups. In 2008, there was a coup. In the 80s, there was a coup when they silenced Nkomo and his supporters, murdering thousands and thousands of people in the Matabeleland massacres. And then up to this day, they have never resolved that. And they are making the Shona people and the Ndebele people hate each other because they have refused to resolve that Gukurahundi issue. It's something which they could have resolved a very long time ago, so that we mend our relations with our brothers and sisters in Matabeleland. You know, it didn't affect the Matabele people only. Shangani people, if you go across the southern region of Zimbabwe, there are Shangani people who are also equally not happy. The, vendor people in Bridge right there, they're not happy with the arrangements of ZANU-PF, with the way they are treating people. So if you look at it, in 2008, there was another coup. In 2013, in 2018, people were shot in the streets. And in 2023, they continued with that path. But each and every tunnel has an ending. So we have to understand this. Even the longest river has an ending. The longest river in the world has an ending. Every sea you see, every ocean you see, has an ending. Which means this dictatorship we have in Zimbabwe has also an ending. So we need to arrange ourselves, organize ourselves, speak with one voice, agree as citizens that ZANU-PF has failed, agree as citizens that Mnangagwa has failed, Mnangagwa must go. That must be the norm. They've started this 2030 agenda. They've started this 2030 thing, which means we have to start again to speak with one voice and make sure that this time around, we do not make any mistakes. We do not meander. We focus on what is important. We focus on making sure that ZANU-PF falls. So the agenda is no longer to remove Emmerson Mnangagwa only. The agenda must be to remove the dictatorship, remove the ZANU-PF system, remove looters, and make sure that they are sent to Chikurubi where they belong. These farms which they are privatizing, we are going to reverse that. I'm telling you this, we are going to reverse that nonsense, and any banks who are going to be involved in that nonsense will lose. We do not care. Kana bengi rikabirwa mari nematsotsa yarichinzi ndine land, ndine title deed. Matitle deed yenye kugadzira aya kai. You have to know that we are coming after you. We are coming after you. We're not going to joke about it. We have suffered enough as a people. We are tired as a people. We can't continue to be held at ransom by just a few people, a handful of people. Vanachivhayo vanenge vachifamba vari madumbu zenene vachimisa mazipfudza anenge akaita senzou achienda kwesoko achitaura zvisina basa uko mahospital edu ari kufa. Look at the statistics, death rates statistics kunana Mpilo, kunana Parirenyatwa. People are dying like flies. No one cares about that. And then you have a man Zambarafuta running around achimhanya achita sokuti ari kubatsira vanhu, ari kudonata. What are you donating? In a functional Zimbabwe, people must not do GoFundMes for healthcare. People must not live like that. People must benefit. We have to introduce that in Zimbabwe, which means I agree with Clive Malunga. I agree with all veterans. I agree with every progressive Zimbabwe that ZANU-PF has failed, and we have to agree that Mnangagwa has failed, and we have to make sure that we join the fight to remove not Mnangagwa, to remove ZANU-PF and the entire system. ZANU-PF must collapse. ZANU-PF must go. ZANU-PF must vanish. It must never even become an opposition. We don't want to hear anything to do with ZANU-PF. They must ban all these useless t-shirts and make sure that we progress as a nation. So that must be the agenda right now going forward. So we can't continue to be held at ransom by just a few individuals who will be looting and stealing everything. Right now, Zimbabwe does not have proper minds. Zimbabwe does not have proper businesses. We can't benefit anything. Every mineral which is being mined is going into the pockets of individuals, into the pockets of the elites, into the pockets of the Chinese. Go to other countries like Saudi Arabia. Minerals are benefiting the citizens of those countries. Yet here in Zimbabwe, the minerals are benefiting just a few individuals. So right there in Mzarabani, they are running around to have that oil and gas thing which is happening there. The reason why they are pursuing it with all our eyes wide is because they also wanted to dip into the coffers of that resource, make money, be fed, and continue to sideline us and continue to manipulate us. It must end. We can't continue to have inequality. Look at the education system. There is inequality. Their children, they go to private schools. Our children, they go to the public schools. The public schools, you know, they have been destroyed. They have been run down. Nothing is working there. If you go to the rural areas, the situation is dire. The situation is worse. There is no school to talk about. Even if you have money in the rural areas, there is no school to talk about. So those are the things which we need to deal with. Go to the healthcare. It's because they've destroyed the healthcare system. They destroy each and everything about the healthcare, and they go outside to be treated. Chief Shumba Wenje was sick. He was flown out of Zimbabwe and got a medical treatment elsewhere outside Zimbabwe in India right there. Which means they do not prioritize, they will never prioritize Zimbabwe. They've been collecting sugar tax the whole of last year. They raised over 38 million. And we just need 2 million for a cancer machine, which means 10 provincial hospitals which we have. We just need 20 million for each and every provincial hospital to be able to treat cancer in Zimbabwe. 20 million for each and every provincial hospital to be able to treat cancer. But they don't want. That 38 million is going to be looted. They are simply repairing the old machines which were bought 10 years ago during GNU. Those are the machines which they are repairing. But we have modern machines which are up to date, easy to use, more effective, and more life-saving. But they don't want. All they want is to make sure that the people of Zimbabwe continue to suffer. So there must be a day where we say enough is enough. And Milton, thank you very much for coming, my brother. And Esther says, I'm tired kugara kwenyika dzevamwe. I would love to go back home and enjoy my retirement. Other than, but as long as there is no change in Zim, kutofira kuno kuma nursing homes kuchando. Yes, you know, a lot of people, they want to be home, but they can't be home because there is nothing to talk about right here in Zimbabwe. You know, even tikataura business, there are no conducive policies to make it easy to do business in Zimbabwe. They've closed all the gaps. So what they've created is they've created bogus systems, and the people of Zimbabwe continue to suffer. Straightforward people will never venture into business and be successful. It's easier to go to South Africa, to Malawi, to Zambia to do business than to do it in Zimbabwe. That is a very, very important point. And my sister Notando, thank you very much for coming. How is South Africa? And Mary, yes, thank you very much for these contributions. And we continue to fight for change. We continue to push for change in the nation of Zimbabwe. And it's time for us to change gears. It's time for us to shift gears. 2025, we must make sure that there is a clear action plan from the citizens to make sure that we reclaim what we have lost for a very long time. Thank you very much, everyone. Let us continue to support change. Let us continue to pray. May God bless you this festive season. We have seen accidents happening today. 3 buses were involved in an accident near Bubi. It's very, very sad. This is the thing we have been talking about, to say, guys, slow down. Mabhazi mukafamba at 100 kilometers per hour, that is speed yakawandisa iyoyo and is enough for you. Izvo zvenyu zvekumhanya 140, 150, you are simply wasting people's lives for nothing. And let us continue to pray. Let us continue to be cautious this festive season, and let us prepare for next year, and let us do good each and every time. Thank you very much, everyone, for coming.